Yes. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out something, guys. Yay, we're live. Hello, everyone. Cindy Olin here with Create Your Own Luck in Love, and welcome to my Summer of Love Facebook Live series. I'm so excited to be here with you. Give me a shout out if you are here. Let me know if you're here live or you're watching the replay, because excuse me, I want to connect and engage with everyone that's here. So the purpose of, just really quick, the purpose of me doing this live series for the month of June is to help you to do exactly this: amp up your love life. Summer is, there are proven studies out there that actually have several case studies that prove that the summertime is the best time to attract lasting love. So I am here to boost your opportunity, boost your chances at creating just that. Or if you're already in a relationship and you're watching this live, well, maybe you're looking to amp up your love life. So this will serve dual purposes in that piece. So I'm excited to be here with you today. Please feel free to post any and all questions that you have pertaining to your love life. And let's go ahead and get this party started. So today's topic is how to attract the right kind of partner. I hear this all the time. How do I attract the kind of man that I want? So I'm going to keep it really simple. 3 simple tips for you today, okay? You guys will have to excuse me. I put a new light on my phone, and you may not be able to see this, but it's blinding me a bit. So if I'm blinking my eyes a lot, it's because of that. So I might get to adjust my light. Anyway, there's a song about that. Blinded by the light. Anyway, you don't want to hear me sing, because you'll definitely get off this program if you start listening to me sing too long. So going back to our subject at hand, attracting the right partner. So this is the foundational part of what we're going to talk about in creating the kind of relationship that you want. So summertime's the best time to get yourself out there and attract the kind of man you want. So how do I attract the right kind of partner? It's simple, yet it can be a bit complicated, okay? And some of this may be a little bit repetitive for you, but I'm hoping to break it down for you in a way to make it simple and that you have fun with this. That's the number one thing. I call it the summer of love. What do you think about when you think about summer? Answer the question. I always think of fun. I had some friends that, an old girlfriend of mine, she used to always call me Summertime Cindy, because it was literally my favorite. Summertime's literally my favorite time of the year. And it was like I would be out and about every single day, night, you name it. Everything fun, right, Lori? Okay, so let's just jump in to my 3 tips for knowing how to identify the right partner for you. So the number one thing is know what you're looking for. And you might think, wow, Cindy, that's a no-brainer. Is it? Really? So get really clear on what type of partner you desire. So let me give you some framework around that and some ways to uncover that for yourself, because I think it can be really hard to do at times. So here's number one thing to do. Write down the pros of maybe your top 3 past significant relationships the pros of those partners. So the good qualities they had, the qualities that you really connected with, what you liked about them, right? Write those down. And then you already know what I'm going to say next, but write down in another category, and I like to do like a line in the middle of the page and write down, what are the cons of these people? What are things that I absolutely could not connect with? Okay? And then I want you to take that another step further and look at, what are absolute deal breakers for me? What are absolute deal breakers for me? So a deal breaker could be, for one person, if he doesn't believe in God or have a relationship with God, right? That could be a deal breaker. Or could be anything. Lying, could be a lot of things. Could be someone that isn't committed to having a healthy lifestyle, right? Which could include a myriad of things. You know, a lot of people will say no drugs or not excessive drinking. But if you look at it from the umbrella aspect, you know, what does that mean to you? So that is the first way to start to really narrow it down. And I talk about something which I am going to talk about later on this week, is the Fabulous Five. So these are your Fabulous Five must-haves in relationship. So I'm going to get into that later, but I'm actually giving you some framework when it comes to, how do I attract the right partner, right? So figuring out what the things that you absolutely don't want, and what are things that light you up in your life? What are things that make you really happy? Do deep philosophical conversations spark you? Does it, does taking, doing a triathlon on the weekends pump you up? Does travel really pump you up? I know it sounds like, what are things that light you up in your life? Okay, so when you can put those, does family light you up? Right? So what are things that make you really happy? For me, every day, multiple times a day, I have a cup of happy. Can you see this? Isn't this the cutest? Oh, you can see it. Well, it's upside down, but it's my cup of happy. Coffee. I love coffee. Sometimes I feel like I have it in my, like pulsating through my veins. I associate that with comfort, with joy. I enjoy coffee with friends, with people that I love in my life. Okay, so so some of those things. The other is, I want you to think about and write this down for yourself. What is your vision for your life in your future? What is your vision for your life in your future? That could be, for you, Nikki, I see you on here. Hi. And hi, Lori. Hi, Tina. Oh my gosh, it's good to see you. Hot stuff. Anyway, I know for you, Nikki, one of your visions is, your vision, and you already have this, is to have an extraordinary life and to live with your man in a home that suits the both of you, and spend lots of time with your family and do lots of fun travel and adventure, right? Those are visions for your future. What are your visions for your future? So those are, I think I've named a couple things, but I'm going to talk about another thing that's really important when we come to identifying the right kind of partner for you. I was talking about the pros and cons, right? Putting down the pros and cons list from your past significant relationships, right? Which can drum up emotion. And that's okay. Feel the emotion, release it, and know that what you're bringing in is new and aligned with you and what's complete for you. You know, I've worked with hundreds of women and men as well in this area of their life when it comes to creating the kind of partnership. And I've had so many people tell me, gosh, if I could take some of the qualities from all of my exes, I would probably bring in the perfect man. Well, you might, but I've also seen in my experience too, when the women that I work with today open up to receive extraordinary love, not only does it fit in with our fabulous five, it exceeds that. It exceeds your mind-blowing expectations. It was more than you ever thought possible. And that's what I want for you. Okay, so the other side to this is, and I want to keep this as simple as possible, right? Pros and cons, looking at your vision for the future. And then number 3, I want you to think about what is it that you bring to the table in partnership. So what is it that you bring to the table? And I don't want you to go into those conversations of, well, I don't bring enough of this or I don't bring enough of that. Cancel, delete. Really. I want you to think about what are the amazing things that you bring into the partnership. Maybe you bring life, you bring fun, you bring energy, you bring communication, you bring honesty, you bring devotion, dedication. It could be anything, right? You're a good cook. I mean, it could be a variety of different things that you feel that you bring into a partnership. So, you know, there's a saying out there, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before. And if you haven't, I'm going to share it again. If you haven't, great, it's new. But if you have, I'm going to share it again. In order to, attract the right partner, you become the right partner. I actually don't believe the first part. I believe we're always becoming a great partner. I believe there's always room for growth and development. Okay? So we're constantly evolving and growing, or I think we're 1 foot in the grave, right? So keep that in mind when it comes to, being the right partner. What does he bring to the table? So I like to think about, what are some areas that I feel, right, that aren't necessarily my strongest suits, that would be amazing to have as a partner. So for women, as you know, and some women are amazing at this, amazing at being really analytical at themselves, at their lives, at their finances, at everything, right? And a lot of us are more feeling beings, right? I had a phone call that came in. So sorry, you guys, I'm on my phone doing this. I love technical difficulties. Anyway, not really a difficulty, but okay, so when it comes to that, I hear women, what is being the right partner? What does he bring? So I think about, many men tend to be a little more talented when it comes to analyzing, looking at things, checks and balances, so to speak. We tend to be the feeling people. Not that men aren't feeling. They actually feel very deeply, even deeper than we do. They just don't feel as often. We're constantly feeling things, right? I could tear up. This is not a joke. I'll share a quick story with you. if you don't mind, because that's what I like to do. I like to pop in a quick story, but I was, something I've been focusing on lately is finding the right nanny for our family. And I spoke with a woman the other day that was pregnant, and, she's due this summer. I'm super excited for her, and I was asking her what she wanted, and, as a woman that's experienced pregnancy, and if any of you guys have, one of the things that happens when a woman is pregnant, it's like we can conquer the world. I literally was a maniac. I got more stuff done, cleaned, organized. It was like, it was that nesting thing that happened, right? So this woman was in that space, and I was like, you know what? After you have that baby, you're going to want to really spend those precious moments, especially that first 3 months with that baby, because you're never going to get that time back. And I started to get choked up because I was remembering that time with my little baby, and who's 4 now. But anyway, you guys get it, right? As women, we feel all the time. We have this gift of diffused awareness. We can see a lot of different things at once. And men have this single focused thing, right? So thinking about what are some things, some aspects of my personality that it would benefit me to have someone that's more like this. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect, but if you think about puzzle pieces together, it's really nice to have people in our lives that can ground us on certain things to a degree or lift us up, right? It's part of, also understanding love languages. Maybe your love language is, personal, touch, and maybe words of affirmation. If those things are important to you and those aren't his, it's okay, because you can always figure out how to work together along those lines so you can communicate and both feel seen and heard in relationships, right? So attracting the right partner is also showing up in a way that you want, that you're proud of for yourself. And don't go into shaming. This is not about being perfect, because I think a lot of times, and I say this again, I repeat this because I feel like women can especially be hard on themselves. They can especially, if they're not living up to what they think this ideal woman standard is, then it's like, oh, forget about it. I'm not ready. I haven't lost that last 20 pounds, 30 pounds. My finances aren't perfect. I'm not at the next step in my career yet. It's, we're all a work in progress. And even if he's at that level and that's where you're aspiring to be, men are inspired by the things that you're inspired to create in your life. It's plain and simple as that. They don't care if you're a CEO or you're a receptionist. It's really about what's inside you. What's that fire that's inside you? So, understanding those things will help you there, right? So knowing that, knowing what do I bring to the table? What am I willing to be forgiving of myself? Yes. And attracting the right partner is also the ability to put yourself out there and recognize, and this I'm going to go deeper on, but recognizing what is healthy for you and what is not healthy for you, right? And let me give you a quick example of this, and I hope you guys, this is helpful feel free to post any questions. Post your pros and cons lists on here too, and I'll help support you with those. Okay, so for me, for example, words of affirmation is a love language of mine. I was actually retaking the test this weekend because I just, I always think this stuff is interesting, and I wonder if it changes over time. So words of affirmation is a love language of mine, and for me, based on my past and and my childhood, I am very sensitive to criticism, right? Nobody wants to be criticized. However, let me go to the other side of that. I'm very receptive to helpful criticism, if that makes sense. So, if you said, Cindy, it would help me if, I love your content, and what would help me is if you laid out the bullet points of what we were covering ahead of time. Sometimes I get lost in the things that you say, or when you said, so it could be anything, right? So because when I think about criticism, right, I think about being wronged, and I think there are different ways. I love constructive criticism. I always want to do better. So if I'm doing something for someone, or I performed a task, or I've done a coaching call, I will always ask, was this helpful? Is there anything I could do better for you? Because as much time as I spend researching and wanting to get deeper with you guys in your emotional triggers and helping you to release that, to open up to fully receive love, because that's part of it. Attracting the right partnership, this is the last key I'm going to give you, is to actually fully open up to receive love. If you could see me right now, my arms are wide open. My arms hurt too from my workout. So anyway, and I like to infuse a little bit of comedy in our talks because it makes it fun. But at any rate, you guys, if you open yourself up virtually, it's vulnerable to receive love. Some people aren't going to be for you, right? And we're only looking for the one right person. So what does it mean to you to receive? Receiving is letting him court you, right? Getting out of your own way and not having to control it. I'm a bit of a controller. So sometimes I have an idea of what I think I want something to look like. And at times I get to let go of that, because that's not what was meant to happen. And then we course correct and it's all good, right? It's not about sweating the small stuff. So you guys, I want to know, was this helpful? And I'm so excited to see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. noon. So just so you know, we're going to be here Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. noon, Facebook Lives for your Summer of Love kickoff. I have so much good stuff for you. And yay! Send me some hearts, send me some love. Thank you, Lori, for saying that. And I am excited to be here. And please, please let me know if you have any questions, anything specific. I will answer them all personally. And, my team will be here too to make sure that I answer your questions as well. All right. Mwah. Have an amazing rest of your Monday.